Hey guys, Amanda here. Okay, so I wanted to do more of the introduction to the DBT. I'm using the handout booklet thing that they gave us, Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. It has like the worksheets that I've read from in the past and stuff, but it has a little bit more, but I'm just going to read some of it, because I can. Okay, so let's see. What we know about people in DBT. People are doing the best they can. People are perfect the way they are, and they need to change. People did not cause all of their problems, and they have to solve them anyway. Right now, the lives of people in our skills group are painful, difficult, and frustrating. People need to learn new behaviors and skills in all areas of their lives. There is no absolute truth. Since everyone is struggling with difficult issues, we treat everyone with respect. People cannot fail in DBT. I'm wondering if number 2 is actually correct, because it says people are perfect the way they are and they need to change. No, maybe, I don't know. I'll ask about that. I'm not sure, but that's what it says, so I just read it. Maybe it does make sense. Anyway, so this is the second page, biosocial theory. So, why do people need DBT? Because they have biological sensitivity. So this is probably going to ring true for a lot of people who have been told their lives that they're overly sensitive and overreact to things when they don't understand why people are saying that, because that's just how it is for them. So we might react, we kind of, I guess if you're going to use the term overreact, our response to things is greater than those of our peers. So, for instance, we'll take thunder. Okay, the sound of thunder. Sometimes it's not so loud, sometimes it's really loud, it jumps you out of your seat, but it's not, the thunder in and of itself is not going to hurt you, but the sound of it can scare you. So if you have somebody who, okay, we'll say somebody who reacts normally to that, you hear a big boom, okay, say it wakes you out of a sound sleep, you're going to be like, oh my god, what was that? Oh, it was thunder, okay, and go back to sleep, or get up, get a drink, go to the bathroom, go back to bed, whatever. The person who has the bigger reaction, that same boom, okay, the person might wake up and start crying and just be really scared and just have this reaction that seems to other people like it doesn't fit the situation. Instead of being like, oh my god, that scared me, okay, let's get a drink, relax, go back to bed. This person might not be able to go back to bed. They might, just be scared all night long and just be very anxious and all that stuff. So that would be like the difference between somebody who reacts in a more, we'll say, socially acceptable way, which whatever that is, if you see how, anyway, as opposed to somebody with BPD in DBT or not in DBT and has this intense overreaction, as people say. Okay, so coming back down and coming to a calmer place, like where you were before, is going to take a lot more time than with the person who doesn't have the same reaction issue as you. Environment that doesn't fit. Rejects, punishes, oversimplifies, traumatizes. So, a lot of these things happen in our environments, especially as kids, and the people who are doing it, usually our parents or some sort of caregiver, don't even realize that they're doing it. So you might Um, let's take rejects. Okay, you might live in a family. You got a nice family. Okay, nice people. Your parents work and whatever. Whatever. You have that. You live in a nice house. All that stuff. Okay. However, both parents work 80 hours a week, and then your siblings all have their friends and do their own thing, whatever. Okay, and you just want to have a few minutes or a night or whatever with your mom or your dad, just the two of you or whatever, just to spend some time, okay? But your parents, one or the other, says, oh no, honey, I have to work. I'm not going to be home until really, really late. I'm leaving at 5 in the morning. I won't be back until maybe like midnight or whatever. And dad basically says the same thing. Oh, maybe on a vacation, and there never seems to be enough time for you and your parent, okay? For your relationship to evolve and grow. And you can feel rejected by that. Like, you feel like you aren't worth their time. Their job is worth their time, but you're not. Even if it's for 5 minutes. Or take a walk around the block or something. They're either too tired or they're off rushing to work or they have a meeting or whatever. And then your siblings, say they're older siblings, okay? They don't want you around. You're the youngest in the family. You may not have many friends, and you just feel like you don't belong. Like, this environment isn't for you, so you might feel rejected. And not because they're doing it on purpose, because they're probably thinking, oh, well, I gotta work so I can pay for these things so my kids can have a good life. And that's all great and everything, but what about that quality interpersonal time? Where you just hang out with the other person. You don't text, you don't call, you hang out and you talk and you know, develop your relationship and stuff. That can be, that's part of like the environmental example. Okay, so behavioral problems, having lack of skills, basically you keep repeating the same patterns over and over and over again, expecting a different result, but it never seems to happen. And we end up, feeling bad about ourselves, leading to horrible thoughts, which can ultimately lead to suicidal ideation, and or having a plan and following through with it, or cutting, or burning, or banging your head up against a wall, or slapping yourself in the face, or whatever kind of behavior that is harmful to your body. That's kind of a reaction that people can have. Kind of it is. Okay. Alright, so the last one for this one is dialectical behavioral therapy. You can see that there are two columns. One is this side you want to decrease, this side you want to increase. So one are the left side are the problems, the right side are the skills. So problems, what to decrease. Number 1, confusion about yourself. Not always knowing what you feel or why you get upset. Dissociation. So on the skills side, what you want to increase is mindfulness. Number 2, on the problem side, impulsivity. Acting without thinking it all through. So the skill that you want to increase there is distress tolerance. Number 3, for the problems, emotional instability, fast, intense mood changes with little control or steady negative emotional state. So the skill you want to increase there would be emotion regulation. Number 4, on the problem side, interpersonal problems, pattern of difficulty keeping relationships steady, getting what you want, or keeping your self-respect, frantic efforts to avoid abandonment. So you're going to want to work on your interpersonal effectiveness skills there. Relationship skills, like communication, that kind of thing. And 5, teenager family dilemmas. So polarized thinking, feeling, and acting. Example, all or nothing thinking. So you will want to work on your skills of taking the middle path. So instead of having all or nothing thinking, like my parents are good, my parents are bad. Okay. Or another thing is teenagers say, I hate my parents, but I love my parents, I think in the middle part, it's more like, I love my parents, but there are times when I don't like their decisions. So, I don't know, what was that? I don't know what that was. Like, hey, you get it? Okay, so that's out of the little booklet I got going on here. For that particular little introduction. I got one more, one that I want to go through, but I'll do that in a separate video. Nah, I'll just do it now. It's not that long. It's just this first page. Okay, so, Dialectical Behavioral Therapy, DBT, Introduction to Concepts. DBT was developed by Marsha, Linehan, PhD, ABPP, at the University of Washington. The Skills Training Manual for Treating Borderline Personality Disorder was published in 1993. While DBT was found to be effective in treating these individuals, its use has been expanded to other populations of people suffering with mental illness or mental health disorders. DBT uses many cognitive behavioral strategies but integrates concepts drawn from the Zen Buddhist tradition of mindfulness and acceptance as core skills. Dialectic refers to the dialogue or the synthesis between the opposites, i.e., emotional control versus letting go. It is a complex theory that combines many different components, and at its core, DBT is a solid cognitive behavioral therapy. As much as 60% of DBT is made up of CBT philosophies and interventions. Another significant part of DBT is the idea of balancing dialectics, which accounts for 20% of the model. The last component of DBT, mindfulness, makes up the final 20%. Okay, so worldview and basic assumptions. Client are doing the best they can and need better skills to be more effective. I was supposed to say clients, I'm sorry. Clients have not caused all their problems and they have to solve them anyway. So the different modules are like what I said in the last part. So mindfulness, what skills? Observe, describe, participate. How skills? Non-judgmentally, one mindfully, effectively. Distress tolerance, distract, wise mind accepts, self-soothe with the 5 senses, improve the moment, radical acceptance. Emotional regulation, reducing vulnerability to negative emotions, mindfulness. Steps for increasing positive emotions, opposite action. Interpersonal effectiveness, attending to relationships, balancing priorities and demands, balancing the wants to shoulds, building mastery and self-respect. Myths about interpersonal effectiveness, asking or saying no, guidelines for getting what you want, dear man. That's a little exercise that they were actually talking about at the last group I was at. I think it was, yeah, but I don't know exactly what they were doing. But that is this piece here. I just read, like, these are the different modules. You got mindfulness, distress tolerance, emotional regulation, interpersonal effectiveness, and then, like, they have the skills, and, like, these are just the skills underneath each. So that's all that is. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to do this one last one, and then this video is done. Okay, so this is their, idea of states of mind, okay? So this one is like your reasonable mind, okay? This is where you make your decisions, okay? wise mind is, hold on. I have it here somewhere. I wrote it down on another piece of paper. Okay, so your wise mind is where you take action, and then you have your emotional mind, which is your emotions. And we are all like in this all the time. Okay, and what it's trying to say is like, are you only in reasonable mind? Are you only in emotional mind? Or are you only in wise mind? And you want to try to be in wise mind because it combines both the reasonable mind and the emotional mind. Okay, so your ability to make effective cognitive decisions is important, but it's also important to feel your emotions and deal with them appropriately. And when you do those together with these skills, you come up with a wise mind. So that little introduction there. So I think that's all of the introductory stuff that I wanted to talk about. So, okay, that's the end of this video. This is like the 4th time of me making it. I kept getting interrupted. So, alright, so hopefully that was helpful for you. And always ask questions if you need them. I am not a DBT therapist, so I'm only giving you the information that was given to me. I am not trying to be a therapist or anything like that. I just want people to have this information, so if they're not able to go, or you're not able to go for whatever reason, you can at least look this stuff up, and try it that way, maybe with your counselor or whatever. Okay. Alright, guys. Well, I will catch you later. Bye.